Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Kyle Campbell from the Cars Tour. How's it going?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing well. So, just of course, this has been a pretty big year for you. Just a lot of things happening, on your end. I know you ran a majority of the Cars Tour races this season, and got to do a lot of things. Just overall, how was this season for you?
I think we had a pretty decent season overall. I mean, it was we definitely had our ups and downs. Our first down being the second race of the season at Hickory. I DNF for the first time, and the main goal then was just trying to get back from North Wilkesboro. That was the track I really wanted to race at. When the Carolina Pro got canceled there in 2022, I was upset because I really wanted to race. So when I had the opportunity, that was the main focus. And then once we got through North Wilkesboro, it was just maintaining and running good for the rest of the season. And unfortunately, we blew up with 3 races to go at South Boston, so that cut our season a bit short. But we finished second at Wake County in the Cars Pro Limonato Tour, so I think we had a pretty good year overall.
Yeah. Like what was like the track that you really like most improved on this year, you think?
I think Wake County. I mean, obviously it helps when I have a second place finish, but I went into that kind of not wanting to race just because it's bouldering, and if something major happens with the car, we'll miss a race or two, and that's not really what I want to do. But I showed up to Wake County not really looking forward to it, and you know, practice qualifying got rained out, but they went off practice times, and we weren't the greatest in practice. And then once the race came around, we realized we had speed, and we kind of picked them off one by one, drove up through the field, and ended up finishing second.
Yeah. Just constantly improving and seeing a lot of these things, especially evolve with the Cars Tour and all with with the overhaul with the new ownership and all that stuff, especially with kind of the rebranding with it being the ZMAX Cars Tour and stuff. I know that a lot of new things coming for well, a lot of I mean, the tracks are obviously going to be the same, but what's it like with all these new things coming along?
It's interesting. It's we got a new tire coming. They've announced the tire's gonna be different. It's relatively the same. It's just a little bit different compound. So it's gonna be cool to see how that reacts. I mean, no one's done it. I mean, they've tire tested, but no one has raced on that kind of tire yet. So that'll be cool. And then some of the rules are changing around just a little bit, and they're working with the teams just to get everyone's input on what people want to do. So we'll see here pretty soon what their final decision is going to be on the rule package and everything, and we'll look forward to March.
You also got some other opportunities along the way too, including that hat you're wearing a little bit there. Kind of tell us how you got to be part of that team.
Yeah, so I started working with PRG in August. That's Pinnacle Racing Group. Shane Hoffman's crew chief, ARCA team. The driver was Luke Fenhouse for all the East races this year, and it was kind of funny how that came along. I was in the flag stand at Milburn Speedway one day, and I got a phone call from a good buddy of mine, Carson Quavel, and they said, "Hey, I know this circuit team. They're looking for a guy," and he gave Shane Hoffman my number, Lauren Reiner my number, and that kind of got worked together. And the next day, I flew out to Indianapolis with him.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that like to just, kind of be a crew member and, what was that like just kind of getting that experience, working with the team?
It's definitely a good experience. Shane's really smart, so it's kind of nice to be under someone who I know I trust. I trust Shane 100%. I know what they're doing. I know they know what they're doing, and I've never been involved that deep in a NASCAR team or nothing like that. So it was really cool to see the ins and outs of it at first. I was the rear tire changer for Luke Fenhouse at all the races, and it's cool to be a part of it. It's a new experience, and I think I'm learning a lot over there. So I'm working the late model with Landon S. Huffman. So that was cool. I went to Hickory and Florence with them, and I'm just here to learn. That's about it. I'm here to learn, and I think I'm getting good experience from it.
Yeah. I mean, you're also, with your plans for next season, I know that you're also going to be, running the full Cars Tour, if I'm not mistaken, schedule.
Yeah, we're gonna be running the full car store schedule.
Okay. So, obviously, on the and just to remind everyone, the pro late or the late model stock side.
Yeah, we'll be running the Pro Late Model Tour. That's what we got. It's just me and my dad running, like I said. So we got Pro Late Model in the shop, and we're gonna be trying to make all the races.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I mean, running the full season, I know what's that like just to know that you're going to run it. I know, I know it's just, I know this is just a family owned team and all that stuff, but just how it, to do this, to be able to do the full season, what does that kind of mean to you guys?
It means a lot because the caliper of racing, going from the lower divisions and working your way up, the caliper of drivers and just everyone involved improves tremendously. So when we get in the car tour ranks, we're racing against big money teams, and as like you said, a family team, it's a little bit harder to keep everything. We're keeping everything to a budget, and things are just hoping to go our way.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and just just talk about how this off season's kind of going and what you're going to do these next few months to get ready for 2024.
Yeah, so over the off season, we purchased a new car. Our motor disintegrated at South Boston, so we had to get a whole new block and everything. So we got a motor. We're shipping that off to get upgraded, and we got a. It's not a brand new car; it's a new to us car. It's a 2017 left-hander. It's the car that Carson Quapple won with at Tri County
Mhm.
in early this year, whenever we raced there. So I know it's a good car. They got a good notebook on it. So hopefully we can turn that around and show some better results this year. So definitely big improvement on the car. The car I ran this year was like a 2010 Port City Center, and just kind of outdated stuff. It's hard. It was perfect for what we were running before, but now when we're running with the more competition, more big money teams, it was hard to keep up with those guys. But I think with this new car we're getting, new motor, everything, I think we'll be right there with them.
All right. Kyle, let's get to know you a little bit. How about that?
Yeah, so
Uh,
I started racing when I was 6,
okay.
and we moved down. I'm originally from Burlington, Vermont, but we moved down to Charlotte, North Carolina when I was 4, so I could start racing. My dad raced at Thunder Road up there, and he wanted to get me into racing, but up there you're not even allowed in the pits till you're about 16.
Right.
So we moved down here. I got a go kart when I was 5 for my 6th birthday. I got a go kart, and I started racing. Been working my way up through the ranks since then. Meeting good people along the way. I've been working at racetracks. I've been working at Millbridge since 2013. I did the flagman for that. That's actually a checkered flag from North Wilkesboro because I flagged the modified race there.
Nice.
And so it's fun. I'm learning both sides of the racing facilities from working at the tracks, being a driver at all the tracks. So that's a bit about what I do. So
Yeah. Um, Best race what was your best overall race last year, you think?
Wake County definitely just being able to finish second. Other than that, because it was an outlier, I'd say. Dillon, we ended up 7th, and I think we had a pretty good race there. We felt cars a little bit too tight right at the end, and I had Austin McDonald who ran me clean for the last 10 laps. I was a little bit slower than him, and he had every opportunity to just move me out of the way, ship me off the bottom, but he didn't. And we raced side by side for 3, 4 laps right at the end on old tires at Dillon, which wears tires, and we ended up 7th, and car was clean, everything was good. So other than Wake County finishing second, obviously that's awesome. I'd say I'd say Dillon was our second best race.
All right. And finally, what's an interesting fact people might not know about you?
I'd say one interesting fact would be what I just stated earlier. Was I'm originally from Vermont. Not a lot of people know that. Everyone assumes I'm from down here. I mean, I pretty much am, just because I've lived here my whole life. But we still have family in Connecticut and Vermont, so we'll go up and visit them during the off season. During Christmas, we'll go visit them, go ice skating on the pond up there, and
Nice.
just kind of get away from the racing.
Yeah. All right. Kyle, thank you so much for the time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you for having me.